I twist my ankle, and I had a teammate, David Greenwood. He says, you twist your ankle, young fella. Come over and sit with me. You need to. I said, no, man. I'm trying to make a name for myself. There's no way I can sit. I need to get out there and show what I'm capable of. I want to play. I want to win. I want to make an impact.
You can't have any flaws. Because everybody, when they talk about the most skilled players, the same guys always get brought up. It's Kyrie, it's Kobe, maybe Kevin Durant's in there. They don't talk about LeBron. They don't talk about Shaq, because to them, the best player is based on aesthetics, not necessarily performance and effectiveness.
The internet didn't just react, it exploded. Twitter went wild like someone dropped a truth bomb in the middle of rush hour, all because one guy finally spoke on what he actually witnessed with his own eyes. No filters, no forced smiles, no carefully packaged media talk. Andre Iguodala crossed the biggest unspoken line in basketball conversations, and watching JJ Redick scramble to patch things up in real time was unbelievable. Let me break down what really went down, because this moment shows exactly where basketball debates sit today. This wasn't one of those soft, friendly podcast moments where everybody nods, agrees, and repeats the same top 5 ever list we've all heard 100 times. It started off calm, chill, harmless, until Iguodala decided he wasn't playing that quiet game anymore. And once he flipped the switch, you could instantly see why so many players stay silent instead of speaking their truth. They know the second they say something honest, people act like it's breaking some sacred rule. Players feel like if they keep it real, they lose effectiveness, like their opinions suddenly don't matter unless they stay in line. Here's the part that really counts. Andre Iguodala built his whole resume on being a defensive nightmare that elite players had to game plan for. His whole job was figuring out how to break down superstar scorers, spotting the smallest cracks in their game and shutting them down with perfect timing and precision. He went to war with Kobe Bryant. He battled prime stars every single night. This isn't some random fan tossing opinions from his couch. This is a guy who actually had to solve the real puzzle of guarding legends when the lights were bright and the stakes were high.
I think there's 3 guys that I'm comfortable saying are 3 of the 5 best players ever. And it's Kareem, LeBron, and MJ.
Kobe had no flaws. I don't like talking about guys' flaws, but if we're talking about the greatest ever, we should be allowed to pick apart people's games. That's all I'm saying.
When Iguodala talks about flaws, he's giving real intel from real NBA battles where every possession mattered and the money on the line was serious. The conversation starts normal, just another chill basketball talk. They mention the usual legends. Kareem gets his respect. LeBron's name comes up. And of course, Michael Jordan enters the mix. Then Kobe's name, and someone says, "You have to really play hard. Does that hurt you physically?" No, because when I play hard all the time. There's no, turn it on here, turn it off here. It's just 110% at all time. Everyone's nodding like this is just another safe conversation, like nothing dramatic is about to drop. Then Iguodala says something you can tell he's been holding in for years, like he finally got tired of staying quiet. He separates the names into a whole different tier and says Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan stood on a level even other great players couldn't reach. Then he uses one word that instantly freezes the whole room. CIA flawless. The moment that word leaves his mouth, you can practically see JJ Redick's brain working overtime, because he knows exactly what Iguodala just hinted at without saying it straight out. If Kobe and MJ were flawless, then that means everybody else, including the guy JJ and half the basketball media have been pushing as the greatest for years, has flaws. And JJ can't let that slide without reacting. But here's the problem for JJ. He can't actually challenge Iguodala's point head-on because deep down he knows this isn't coming from somebody guessing or making up stories. Iguodala was on the court with these legends. He lived it. So JJ does what a lot of media guys do when the facts get uncomfortable. He changes the entire topic. Instead of talking real basketball skill, real technique, real on-court ability, he suddenly shifts the debate somewhere totally different. Now it's about championships. Now it's about how long someone played. Now it's about different eras, rule changes, pace, spacing. Everything except the actual point Iguodala made. JJ starts throwing out every stat, every angle, every argument he can reach for, hoping something sticks enough to distract from what Iguodala just put on the table. He's trying to pivot so fast you can feel the energy change through the screen. You can see Iguodala just sitting there like, "That's not even what I said, but go ahead." He's calm, but you can tell he's thinking, this whole convo just went somewhere else. And this is the part nobody ever wants to touch, even though everybody knows it's there.
You have to really play hard. Does that hurt you physically?
No, because when I play hard all the time. You know, there's no turn it on here, turn it off here. It's just 110%.
When you peel away the hype, the edits, the fancy stats, and every highlight people post online, and you look strictly at pure basketball skill, LeBron James is not in the same lane as Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. People can get upset, comments can go crazy, folks can write long breakdowns trying to spin it. None of that changes the truth for 1 second, and the way people panic the moment someone says this out loud shows just how protected this whole storyline has become. So let's break down what flawless really means on the court. It doesn't mean perfect shooting or winning every single game. It means when a pro defender sits down, watches hours of tape, studies your moves, your habits, your tendencies, and tries to find something to attack, they come up empty. It means there is no weakness a defense can build a whole strategy around. It means your offensive game is polished from the ground up with no easy openings. That's exactly what Iguodala was pointing out, and he said it from the point of view of someone who actually had to guard the best. That's the gap that puts Kobe and MJ in their own category compared to everybody else being discussed. Think about Michael Jordan for a second. The man had no soft spots a defender could target. What was his weakness? And I'm not talking about modern three-point metrics, I'm talking about a real repeatable plan a defender could use to shut him down. There wasn't one. You couldn't stop him. He could post, face you up, slice to the rim, hit the mid-range, lock you up on the other end, knock down his free throws, and close the game like it was nothing. There was nowhere to hide from him. Kobe Bryant? Same story. Teams spent years trying to find anything they could lean on to slow him down, and they never found it. His footwork looked like someone crafted it step by step. His shot selection was bold, sure, but he made the tough ones. His focus never wavered. And his free throws? Straight automatic under pressure. Everything was sharp. Everything was clean. Everything was built for big moments. Now here comes the part people avoid like it's a trap. LeBron James gets a wide open shot, steps right into it. And sometimes it's an air ball. And yes, he is great, nobody denies that. But he has clear gaps in his game that people see and pretend not to notice. His free throw shooting swings up and down, and in the biggest moments of his career, there have been stretches where those shots don't fall when he needs them most. That's not an opinion. That's documented right there on film. His handle is good, but it's not in that elite category, and everyone's seen him lose the ball in huge situations. His outside shooting improved over time, but nobody fears it. No defender is lying awake at night thinking about LeBron's jumper. They're thinking about his drives and those wild laser passes he throws across the court. Here's the part that makes people uncomfortable every single time. In clutch moments, LeBron has passed up shots that Kobe and MJ would have taken instantly without a second guess. And again, this isn't hate. This is something you can literally watch happen on tape. There are full compilations of him giving up those shots, and when someone tries to say that's just smart basketball, look at what that actually means. It means even he knows his shot making isn't at the same level as those two. Kobe and MJ lived for that pressure. They wanted the ball. They wanted the moment. That's a mindset difference that matters when you're talking about someone being truly flawless. Instead of keeping it real, people start attacking anyone who points out what's literally right in front of them. They call it hate. They say you're stuck in the past. Then they start waving around a stack of stats like numbers magically explain everything on a basketball court.
We come to practice, he's on one leg. Like he was hurt the second year, he was on one leg the whole year and played 82 games. Wow. And so he practiced every day and he played every game on one leg. And so you're like, man, MJ, why don't you just sit out? How can I be the leader of the team and sit out and y'all going through all the credit? I gotta be there.
And that's exactly what JJ Redick symbolizes in this moment. He's not just standing up for LeBron, he's protecting a whole style of judging hoop greatness that leans on advanced numbers instead of what players actually do on the floor. To the analytics crowd, LeBron's efficiency, his assists, his longevity, all that is supposed to make him the obvious pick. But Iguodala comes from a completely different world. He comes from the hardwood, where you actually had to guard someone, feel their moves, read their rhythm, and figure out how to survive every possession in real time. And in that world, the answer is as clear as daylight. Kobe and MJ gave you nothing easy, nothing predictable, nothing to expose, nothing you could write on a scouting report and trust it would work. Let me put it in simple terms. If you're an NBA coach trying to slow down prime LeBron, the plan is obvious. Pack the paint, make him shoot jumpers. Hope his free throws get shaky in the fourth. That blueprint has been alive for almost 20 years. Does it stop him completely? No. He's still an all-time great, but the blueprint exists, and that's the point. Now try the same approach on Kobe or Jordan. What's the move? Double team them? They'll slice through it or swing it, relocate, and burn you again. Play them physical? They'll walk straight to the line and hit free throws all night. Give them space, they'll rise up and pull right in your face. There is no correct answer when dealing with those two. Defenders have known that forever. That's the real difference, and that's why this whole debate turns chaotic so quickly. LeBron fans instantly sprint to rings, finals runs, scoring totals, triple-doubles, all the resume numbers. But look closely. The topic always shifts away from pure skill. It's never about raw one-on-one ability. It's never about the moves, the footwork, the tough shot making, the shot creation, the bag. It always moves to team achievements, longevity, and stats, and that alone tells you everything. If LeBron's individual skill set was flawless, that would be the first thing people bring up. But it's not. So the discussion always slides somewhere else because the skill gap becomes obvious the moment you talk pure basketball. Iguodala understands this better than almost anyone because he lived it. He spent nights trying to slow down the best players alive, and he knows exactly where the cracks are. When he says Kobe and MJ were flawless, he's not exaggerating for attention. He's speaking from real experience. And the fact that saying something so simple caused such a loud reaction tells you how uncomfortable people get when someone speaks honestly about these comparisons. Now here's another layer to the whole thing. JJ Redick has become one of the loudest voices in modern basketball media. He has a massive platform, a huge audience, and he's locked himself into this new school analytics-heavy mindset. For him, and others like him, greatness equals stats, efficiency, team wins, long careers. And by those rules, LeBron lands at the top, maybe even number one. But that's not the system Iguodala is using. His test is simple. Can I find a weakness in your game? And with Kobe and MJ, the answer was always no. That's why the moment turned tense so fast. JJ wasn't just disagreeing with Iguodala's opinion, he was rejecting the entire way Iguodala measures greatness. And the second he did that, he exposed the real divide in basketball debates today. Only one side is willing to admit when a player actually has weaknesses, and that's what makes this whole debate so different. So let's dig deeper into what flawless really means from a defender's point of view, because Iguodala wasn't talking about hype or social media takes. He was talking about pure defensive reality. Flawless means you can score from any spot on the floor with no hesitation. It means you can create off the dribble even when nobody is helping you. It means you can bully smaller guards in the post whenever you want. It means you can pull up over long defenders without blinking for a second. It means you can finish through real contact from real pros. It means you can hit your free throws when the whole arena is staring at you. And it means you can close games even when everybody in the building knows the ball is coming your way. Kobe and MJ checked every single one of those boxes. There was never a matchup where defenders felt safe or relaxed guarding them. Never. With LeBron, there are certain scenarios defenders go to. Make him shoot late free throws. Make him create from the perimeter. Make him settle for contested jumpers. Those aren't guaranteed stops, but they're way better options than anything you'd get against Kobe or MJ. And that matters more than people want to admit. Across a full career, those small differences add up. They show themselves in huge moments. Eventually, they become part of the whole story, whether fans like it or not. Now here's where things get real interesting. This debate isn't just about ranking players, it's about who gets to control the legacy conversation. For years, major media voices pushed one storyline heavy. LeBron is the GOAT, the argument is finished. And if you didn't agree, you were instantly labeled a hater. Most people just went along with it because challenging that narrative felt pointless. But then someone like Iguodala steps forward and says, actually no, here's what I saw, here's what I know. And what he said is completely different from what everybody has been fed for years, and that's dangerous for the narrative. That's why JJ had to push back so aggressively. Because the second people start talking about skill instead of repeating what they've been told, the whole conversation flips on its head. Suddenly it's not about who played the longest, who reached the most finals, or who racked up the most counting stats. It becomes about who was actually better at the game of basketball. And in that type of conversation, LeBron's flaws become way too obvious to hide. The free throw numbers alone flip the whole debate. If we're talking flawless, Kobe at 83.7%, Jordan at 83.5%, LeBron at 73.5%, that's a massive gap. 10 percentage points in tight moments. That's the difference between walking out of the arena with a win or going home with a loss. And this isn't a small detail either. Free throws are uncontested shots, the cleanest look you'll ever get in a game. If you can't be elite there, you can't be called flawless. Simple as that. But every time someone brings it up, people get heated because it cracks the story they've been repeating for a decade. It forces fans to actually watch the game instead of blindly trusting whatever certain analysts tell them, and a lot of fans don't want to do that work. It's easier to pick a GOAT someone else hands you and defend that name forever. Iguodala didn't go the easy route. He said what he truly believed based on real battles on the court. And watching JJ scramble to twist and reshape the entire debate live was wild. It showed the truth hit a nerve in the room instantly. Because if Kobe and MJ are the only ones who played with no real weaknesses, and if greatness is supposed to be judged by real completeness, then LeBron slips out of that top spot. And a lot of people can't accept that. So instead of dealing with the actual point, they attack the whole framework. And this moment revealed something way bigger. We've gotten so busy protecting our favorite players that we can't even talk honestly anymore. Every debate turns into fan bases swinging at each other. Everything becomes stat dumps, resume comparisons, and long arguments about eras instead of talking about the basketball itself. But Iguodala only asked one simple question. Who had no weaknesses? Who was truly complete? And his answer came out crystal clear. 2 names, nothing more. You can agree, disagree, pull out your numbers, argue that greatness means something different, but you can't deny that Iguodala said it with full confidence backed by years of guarding these guys for real. He didn't care who got offended. That kind of honesty is rare now. And that's exactly why this moment blew up the way it did. At the end of the day, this whole debate shows something bigger about how sports are talked about today. People want to be right more than they want to be truthful. They want to protect their favorite stories instead of actually breaking things down. And when someone finally steps out of that routine and says what they really think, everything turns chaotic. And maybe that chaos is exactly what the conversation needed. Iguodala drew a line. Kobe and MJ on one side, everybody else on the other. You can debate where that line belongs, but at least he had the backbone to draw it. Drop your real thoughts. Were Kobe and MJ truly flawless, or is perfection impossible? Smash that like button, subscribe, and share this with a friend who loves basketball, because we're just getting started with these deep dives.